Hi, I am doing a live stream here. I got a new clamp for my camera, actually for my phone, so I'm setting that up to make sure y'all can see. Okay, uh, this is a comic book I'm working on called The Black Cricket. Um, this is I'm currently working on page 4 of issue 7. I work the worst way possible because you can see I've drawn from the bottom to the top. Um, I've been doing other stuff, so I'm kind of I haven't worked on this a whole lot. It's we just started publishing, and I'm on issue 7, so I'm not super worried about. I'm going to show you the previous pages. Let's see. Yeah. So this is page 1, and this is the bad guys. They're kind of driving around in this car. And this guy is a supervillain called Phase, and he's having and the suit that allows him to phase is causing him to have a nervous breakdown. It affects your mental well-being, and so this was his girlfriend. His girlfriend that is her brother, and he beat her up last issue. So they're driving, and as will happen occasionally. They drive past a police car, and and the guys in the car they run the tag. They get a hit on the tag, and they get a hit on these two guys that were in the car. So they light up the sirens, and so the cops they're he's watching the cops behind him in the mirror, but he's saying, "Look out for the cops in front of us." And the cops have a little blockade going there. And so Faze has put on his suit, and he has phased through this guy's head. And when he phases through someone's head, he can make their head explode. And so that's what he has done here. That's what's going on in the last panel. So because of that, the car is now out of control, and so that's where I'm at now. And like I said, I started from bottom to top. I should have done it backwards. But you could see here in the last panel, the cops are trying to get him to stop, and he's like, stop, and he's like, get out of my way or whatever, and the cops shoot him, and the bullets go right through him with no harm done. So I'm gonna draw, and I kind of put this off because I had to draw cars. um, I don't mind drawing cars. I have kind of a thing that I use. I can't find it. I have a little car that, oh, here it is. So I had this little car, and so I'll look at it. It kind of helps me get the angles on the car, and you can see I kind of cheated a little bit there. Uh, Probably should be more like that, but I got the wheel like that. Maybe they're turning it. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing tonight. I was going to do it in the live stream with Ellis, but I forgot to text him, and so we don't have a live stream set up. So this is what I'm doing tonight. I'm going to do this for a little bit. I could kind of see my phone, so if you have any questions or something, uh, feel free to ask, and I'll try and answer them as I can. I don't know if I'll talk much during this. I tend to talk a lot during these things. I'm looking for. Oh, I've got too much art supplies. It's a good problem to have, except when you're trying to find something specific. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So I got the car. Sorry, stuff keeps falling off my desk. I don't know what that was. Oh well. I got the car, and I've been kind of using it for detail here. Um, and I've drawn a lot of cars over the years. I draw cars. I have to draw cars a lot for my day job. And one thing I've noticed is it always looks better if you kind of put something, especially on a shot like this. I mean, you don't have to really know what the car is. But when I was in high school, I was a big car nut. I was always reading Road and Track and stuff like that. I didn't have a nice car. I would have if I had money. I was poor though. I had a, well, I say that I had a Dodge Charger, and at the time I didn't think it was that cool, but and it was a, 74 Dodge Charger, so it wasn't like the best years for those Dodge Chargers. But I mean, it was, it meant it was a car. That's all I cared about as a kid, certainly. Um, I just wanted, it was a little bit different in my day because you wanted to get a car so you could get out of the house, and a car represented freedom. And I don't think it's like that anymore. It's just a different time, you know. People at work, I work with people that are, significantly younger than me, and they'll ask me like, well, we were talking one time about being popular in school, and I said, oh, of course I was popular in school. My hobbies were Bible quizzing, Dungeons and Dragons, and comic books. Man, I was a popular guy in school. I didn't care. I was never. I don't know. I mean, everybody wants to be liked, I guess, or like wants to be popular. But I've always valued what I liked over like I'm not gonna fake like liking something that everybody else likes just because or whatever. Or like, oh, you got to fit in. I remember in in grade school there became this kind of thing between me and another guy that liked Star Trek and all the other kids that liked like rock music. And it wasn't that we didn't like rock music. That just wasn't our thing. I mean, I wasn't gonna put on makeup and act like I was Kiss or something. Of course, well, I was gonna say I didn't dress up like Captain Kirk, but that's not true. When I was in grade school. In fact, I got my yearbook picture taken, and at one time I had a shirt. It was like a regular shirt. It wasn't like a cosplay or anything. It was a regular shirt, and it was gold, and it had the black collar. It looked like the old original series Captain Kirk shirts. I had a gold one. My brother had a blue one. I don't think my brother's really into Star Trek too much when we were kids. He was kind of into whatever was going on, whatever I was up to, which was probably. He eventually got over that. I mean, we still get along. Don't get me wrong, but he had his own things that he liked to do. And that's okay. Um, so I'm drawing this character, and he's phasing through the door of the car. So I'm trying to make it apparent that he's phasing through the door of the car and jumping out. So the car is out of control. He's jumping from the back seat. I put a door handle on there. That's the great thing about using a Hot Wheel as a model is you can see like what stuff kind of looks like. And when I was in after I got out of high school, I worked at an auto parts, or I worked at a car dealership in their parts department. And so a lot of the stuff I know, I kind of know, if you like if like this I'm drawing, that's like the oil pan. And if this were, and there's kind of an A arm that hangs down here. I mean, it depends on the car, but I mean, I can kind of fake that because I know enough about what that stuff looks like and what it does. I probably put too many construction lines here. Could be I'll clean it up a little bit before I send it off to the inker. And I always take these into Photoshop and like darken them a little bit. Um, I've experimented with like doing like blue line and stuff. I drew a whole comic book with a red pencil one time. I was inking it myself, and it worked out pretty good. I thought it worked out pretty good. Now the publisher, we had a deal with the publisher, and it fell through. Unfortunately, I've had a lot of that kind of stuff where it's like I got a deal and then the deal falls through for whatever reason. You know, I was kind of wondering if this was going to fall through, but it did not. It's going to be published in a magazine called Yeet, which I'm not familiar with Yeet, but apparently their model is it's an anthology, and uh, you pay like I forget what it is. I think it's like $10 maybe, or $5 or whatever, and you're subscribing to the anthology is what it is. So it's a subscription only anthology. It's not distributed through newsstands or anything. Not I should say newsstand. Nothing's distributed through newsstand. Not distributed through like Diamond or anything. Which I guess nothing is distributed through Diamond anymore now, which kind of sucks. I don't know what the I fear for the comic industry. Which, I mean, I'm part of the problem because I'm not reading. I mean, I'm a big X-Men fan, and I'm not really reading what they're doing in the X-Men right now. I read a little bit of the. Is this it? Oh yeah, I got this right here from the Ashes. I like Ryan Stegman. I've met him a couple times at comic conventions, and I like his art. He's got kind of a I don't know what you I don't like comparing other artists to other artists. I have a podcast, and my friend who's on it will go, well, it's like a mix of Paul Pope and Mobius or whatever, and I don't know. I don't like that. To me, that kind of cheapens what the artist is doing. So I don't know what better way to describe somebody's art is, but if I had it, I'd tell my friend. But and he even admits, like, yeah, it's probably not the best way, but when you're doing, especially a podcast, which it's not visual, how do you tell somebody, well, this art looks like this or whatever, you know? Um, so tonight I'm working on this. I'm hoping to get this done tonight. This page done. I think I'm 2 issues ahead of the inkers. I'm not sweating it too much. I've had some other stuff going on in my life, so I've been able to draw. I try and draw every night. I have a full time day job because I don't like starving. Well, plus I don't. We're not gonna make any money on this deal, so I'm not. And the good thing about that is it gives me the freedom to draw however I want to and whatever I want to. I can draw this. I go, well, this is kind of a superhero comic that will may or may not make money. It'll probably never get picked up by anybody big. It may, but it may not. We kind of had a deal, sort of, with I don't want to say who it was, one of the publishers, a small publisher, which I had done some work with, um, and our studio had done work with, which is oh God, I can't pronounce it. Harakura. It's some Japanese thing that they come up with. None of us are Japanese, but we've got a Japanese name for our studio. And the primary thing they do is horror comics. I'm kind of one of the superhero projects. Okay, let's see. I think my perspective's out of whack a little bit, which, that's not too bad. I'm gonna put a line there so I don't get it too crazy. I did a video on drawing perspective, and I was surprised it didn't get more views. I thought it would, but man, it's hard to tell what gets views on YouTube or whatever. I thought my video would because it would. I mean, to me, I shared like an important lesson in perspective, and I don't know. More people watched a video where I was talking about a book that got a lot of reviews. That looks off. I'm gonna fix this. That line right there is the one that's not going to the right spot. I think I didn't foreshorten this. Yeah, that needs to go. Okay, let's see. fix this door. So I get for letting this sit for a week instead of working on it as soon as I've laid down the perspective grids. Um, I'm working with a F-lead, which I like. F-lead is something between an H and an HB. It's kind of a drafting lead. I got a bunch of these really cheap at the Art Students League in New York City in their art supply place, student school, whatever you want to call it. Which, if you're ever in New York, all the good New York art supply places, almost all. There's one, I forget the name of the other one. There's one that's pretty good. It's real small, but like Pearl and like New York Central and all those, they're all gone. So I always go to the Art Student League, and I bought like four of these 8.5 by 11 hardcover sketchbooks from them. I bought two when I was there last year, and they had two more, and I thought, oh, I should buy those. And I thought, well, I don't even know if I'm gonna like them, but they were a good price, and they were you couldn't find them anywhere. I don't know where they got them. It's like a lot of pages, and it just isn't something you can't go on Amazon or Blick or whatever and get it. This particular deal. So I bought two of them a year and a half ago, August in 24, and then we went back to New York in September of 25. I went to the Art Students League, and they had the other two there still. So I was like, you know what? That's like a sign that I should be buying these. And so I bought them, and it's a lot of pages in that. It's a fairly thick sketchbook, hardcover, black hardcover, which I like. Um, and those are kind of disappearing. Well, I mean, you still get them, but they're expensive, and all the supplies are cheap. I used to love the Strathmore sketchbook. I got one I'm working in now. It's my last black Strathmore 8.5 by 11 sketchbook, and just the art supplies are getting expensive. Well, like everything, getting expensive, but the quality goes down. I was looking at shoes today. It is, if you're watching this, it's New Year's Day today, and when my wife and I were out, and I was looking at shoes. We were both off, and I mean, like you couldn't get a decent pair of shoes for under like $80. It seemed like, and even like I was putting on, I tried on like some expensive shoes, and I was like, these are not comfortable, you know. Okay, that's good. I'm going with that. I need to figure out what I want in the background. I'm gonna get a little harder pencil and do a little bit doodling in the background. I kind of got a perspective grid laid out, but I don't. I'm gonna fake something. Don't get me wrong, but I want to figure out what I'm gonna fake. Got a 2H here, so I'm gonna have. I've laid out my perspective grid, and so like if I'm doing this normally, what I would do, and I don't have a vanishing point over here, but I can kind of see where it would go. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Hopefully my head's not in the way. I don't know if anybody's watching. I got one person watch. A couple of people watch. A couple of people liked it. Thanks. Oh, somebody said hi, Scott. I don't know who that was. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let's see. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like I said, normally I do a live stream with my friend Ellis today on Thursday nights, but I forgot to call him, and then we were cooking supper. I thought, oh, I never called Ellis, and I forgot. This car needs four wheels. So I'll put a wheel there, and I'll put something there. Kind of, I don't look right. Let's see. Probably should be more about there. Oh wait, I got a car. Let me look at the car. Problem is my car is not exactly in the right. I'll put it right. I'll split the difference. I'll put it right there. There we go. So I'll blacken that back door or the back tire. So let's see. So when I'm drawing something like this, I mean, the big thing I'm worried about is the car, but I want to put a little bit of a background on it. So I'll draw a line that represents the curb. I'm already out of whack here. Okay, so this line is going to represent the curb. So whatever I do, this is all street here. So I could put whatever in there. So I can come here, and what I'll do is I'll put, oh, that's my curb, and I'll put an actual curb, kind of a high curb like there. So let me do that real quick. So we got that down, and that'll give me kind of a line that I know, like I need to. Sorry if my head's in the way. I need to put the I need to put buildings because I want to put some storefronts and stuff. This isn't in New York City. I forget the name of the town. Sorry, Dan, if you're watching this. But it is kind of a medium-sized city. In my head, it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe like Oklahoma City or something, where it's got fairly big buildings, but they're mostly downtown, kind of. I don't know, or Dallas maybe. I don't know if it's on the water or not. We haven't drawn anything with the water. Okay, the curve is a little high. Okay. Okay, so that's the curb, and you can even come in and you can see I've got it tilted. So I'll come in here and I'll put like a couple lines here just so if I forget, it's like okay. And then what I'll do is let me black this in. So then I'll put a couple lines like hatch lines. Where I draw like a street, because if you look at there's lots of seams in concrete. And if you draw them all, it looks funny. So I kind of use it to like fill up like empty space. And what that does is by putting that on there, it kind of defines that plane a little bit. See, so now I don't know if you can see it real well, but now I've kind of got my flat area, and then I'll come in here and I'll probably put maybe some lines under the car. Maybe I'll do a little shading like this. I'll let the inker figure out what he wants to do there. I got my tire. A little bit of mechanical stuff under the car there. That looks pretty good, I think. And I may go in fact, I'll do it now just for grins. I'll go in, hang on just a second. I need to put a new piece of tape up here. I use these drafting dots. I keep my desk at about a 40-degree angle, which is nice, but man, stuff is always falling off, which gets frustrating on live feed or live stream. Yeah, you can see I've had that on there for a while because it peeled up the paper, which tells me I should be done with this page already. Oh, I got two pencils on the floor. Sorry about that. Anyway, hopefully this isn't too boring for anybody watching. Um, I can't see. I don't see any chats. I'm not. I don't mean like super chats. I mean just anybody. Uh, I saw a message pop up. Somebody said hi, Scott. Which I mean that's cool. I don't know. I didn't see who it was though. It was there and gone pretty quick. Oh, what I'll do, I'll get so because he's kind of jumping out of that car, what I'm gonna do is I want to outline him so that I use a mechanical pencil for this, so that he kind of pops off of there. I used to do this all the time in my art, and somebody one time I submitted some art, and they were like, "Oh, I don't like the bold line you put around stuff." It's like, well, I thought that was like a staple of comic art, that it kind of had like bold lines around stuff. And I was kind of always told that stuff in the foreground has a bold line so that you see it's in the foreground. I'm just doing this because I kind of put it, this is kind of sketchy still, and I'm trying to kind of make it so the inker can tell what the heck is going on here a little bit easier. This is a 0.7. I love these Pentel 200 series pencils. I have a bunch of them, and then I have a set. I don't pick it up because it's got a bunch of other stuff in it, but it came in a 4 set for like the anniversary since like 1970. So I've had it for a couple of years. Um, but but it came with a point 0.3, which point 0.3 is hard to find in America. They make them in Japan, and you can get them, but they're like $15, and the whole set cost me like I think like 16 or something. So I felt like getting all of, and I wanted a point 0.3, and I have point 0.3 pencils, but I kind of wanted them all to match. I like these. I've used these Pentels forever. It's kind of like a drafting pencil, kind of, because it's got the long sleeve on it. So you can see there, I put a little bit darker line around it so that so that Phase, our bad guy, kind of pops out of the, so you can see he's coming out of the car a little bit easier, and that'll probably help the inker. And I'm going to put some reflections on the car too, or some, because I did some here. I was trying to look and see what I did. I put a little bit. I didn't put them here, but I did up here. So I'll put a couple on the door. And I'm a big fan of John Byrne. I always do kind of like what John Byrne did on this stuff. He would do kind of he might do like something that came through like this, came up, and then had like some highlight or some hatch lines. Let me get a darker pencil. Can you see that? This is an HB pencil I grabbed. It's not the same one I had a minute ago. Where'd that one go? Oh, there it is. I'm overran with art tools. Can't resist buying them. Go somewhere and see something that looks cool and buy it. Like I said, though, I'm kind of like the old school kind of John Byrne fan. Um, and so I'll steal a lot of his texture, how he renders some stuff, because I like that. That really influenced me as a kid. That he had his metals look really shiny, and as a kid, I was just really drawn to that. And as an adult, I still am. I just think that's cool. I'll put a little something here to just to break up that great big white area, and to give the inker something else to ink. Um, the Black Cricket is written by Dan Johnson, who may or may not be watching, and it is inked by a guy named Jeff Austin, who I think he's a full-time inker. He does a lot of stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. I could be mistaken about that. I don't know. I've never met him. So, and then Kevin Halter, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. He is he does letters and colors. He had some family issue, so I lettered some of it, but I think we're going. He's going to do all of it, and I'm not sure if there's somebody else involved. I think that's everybody. Sorry, I need some caffeine. Um, anyway, that's what I got there. I'm gonna do these buildings. I'm gonna talk about that real quick, and I'm gonna draw them loose, and then I'll go back in later, probably with a mechanical pencil. So when I'm drawing a building like this, the perspective, the camera's low enough that I'm not gonna draw the sidewalk. You wouldn't see a sidewalk this low. Uh, so what I'll do is I'll kind of pick a spot. Let's say it's right here, and I'll say this is I'll use that as the ceiling line for all of the ground level stores. Okay, because like in big cities, usually not always, but usually on ground level there's a shop of some kind or something. And so now what I'll do is I'll use that. I don't know. That's not right. it needs to be more like, let's see, I'm gonna do it a little bit different. I'm gonna do it like this. That's more where I need to be. I'm gonna do there like this. Okay. So this is my, we'll call it my ceiling level. And it's not set in stone because buildings have different ceiling heights depending on what it is. But that gives me kind of an idea to define. So I'll come in here now. And again, I'm with the the 2H. So I'll come in here and I'll go, well, okay, so here's a building, we'll say, and then I'll go, we'll make, let's see, I'll just use that line. There's a building. And maybe here's a building. And then I'll do to about here. And what I'm doing is this line right here is my horizon line. I can see it. You probably can't see it. I'll draw it. This is my horizon line. And so what I'm doing is when I'm lining this up and figuring out, I'm using these marks to kind of make sure that my vertical line is perpendicular to my horizon line. So now what I can do, this makes it a lot easier for me because now what I can do is I can come in here, I can draw like here, and I'll draw a door and a window, and so this is a well, whatever. So this could be a sign. We'll say noodles, nude. We'll put noodle. This is like a noodle thing. Over here, we don't even need to draw that because it goes up to here. So I'll put something here and make like some kind of sign. AL cell. No, not cell. That's not cell. Anyway, there's a sign there. Okay, so like here, we'll need to start thinking about windows of the floors above that. So I always do like the verticals first, and I kind of eyeball these because I'm terrible. And you want to, as they recede, they'll narrow up a little bit depending on how. So I kind of do this. Let's see. You don't want to. You don't. My problem is I forget like which. Okay, so there's a window. I'll draw a window so I don't forget. So there's a window. There's a window. There's a window. I'll put one more there. So there's a window. We'll kind of put something black there, like a column or something. You can't see the whole building, so it doesn't matter. So that's like, and I'll go in with it, and I may do that on camera, or I may do it off camera. Nobody's watching, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, uh, so then let's see. So like here, and I never make the windows all line up because it looks funny. So I'll do like here and here. Let's see. And then these will be like close together. Those weren't real close. So I'll do like, I got one there. So I'll do this one and this one. Let's see. No, let's do this. This one, and then that'll be the space, and then this one. That'll be a window. And I always put a little line so I know, so I don't get lost in my own mess of lines. So this building is going to have like two windows close together, and then maybe like one in the middle, and then like two here close together, and then like here I'll put something with a store, and at this point you can just squiggle something there, and it'll look good. Let me put one more here, and maybe like here I'm gonna put a sign that comes out. Maybe make a tall sign. It'll say movie. I don't know what it is, but it's good to have signs that are perpendicular to the building or against the building, like parallel to the building, and then out occasionally. And then over here, I got, let's do three columns. And we don't really know what this is, but I'll do something there. And then that's my background, and you can kind of see, and I mean it looks kind of like gibberish, but I've done enough of this stuff that I kind of know. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, this panel, I've got a building kind of like roughed in. And my thought is, since he plowed into these cars, there'd be like some smoke coming, and I only had to draw the cars. Let's draw smoke. This panel's gonna be fun because I got to draw three cars. It's where he's plowing into that roadblock, and I decided I don't like I like the cars, but I need to figure out what they look like. And I've got a reference. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I haven't used that thing in years. Oh, I got this. Let me show you this book. I got this years ago. It's the old car wrecks. And man, I've had this book for, let me see when this book was published. I think I bought this book at Borders. That's how long ago it was. 1997. I probably didn't have it in 97, but and see, stuff like this is really cool because it's like I'm going to be drawing the front of this car getting smashed, and I can use something like this. Now these are old cars, so you don't want to copy them, but it's cool to show you like what happens to the mechanicals and stuff when a car gets hit. I think there's some from the '60s later. Yeah, these are old cars, but there's all kinds of, you know, and cars don't really break up like this nowadays. They're a little bit different, but I mean, people don't know. This is just good reference. You don't want to copy it exactly. See, this would be great. If you ever flipped a car on this and you wanted to draw that, that would be, and you couldn't tell what kind of car that was, but you just kind of mangle up the front and it shows you like, oh, you know, or this. That's a good, because hoods still fold. Some of these old cars they didn't fold. That one didn't fold, but they made them fold in the '60s, I think. Like broken glass in a windshield. And again, they don't nowadays. There's safety glass, like your side window would just shatter. Your front windshield breaks into pieces. It's a good glass. I used to have a morgue file of like broken windows that I would just look at. Oh, this is good. Like stop. Oh, this is good right here. 'Cause it's very similar to what I got going on here. Anyway, and so when I get to that panel, I'll put that over there. When I get to that panel, I'll have to kind of pull that out so I can go, okay, this is what it should look like. Anyway, I think I'm gonna stop the live feed. Um, if anybody's watched this, thanks for watching. So I can pull this down without. I don't know if I can flip it back. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Um, uh, if you like this video, check out some of my other videos. I do a lot of reviews of art books and that sort of thing. Um, anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, please just feel free to say them. Thanks for watching. Have a good. You know what? This is New Year's. Have a blessed and prosperous 2026. If you're an artist, keep drawing and keep up the good fight. Anyway, thanks a lot. Good night.